Welcome back to the Reseller Journey podcast. And in this episode, we got some year in review for you. This is just going to be a friend to friend talk of my thoughts of what I learned, business plans, business goals, going over some of the successes and failures in 2024. Really just want to open up to you guys as our business really did take a massive leap forward, and I want to be able to share some of those insights with you. Maybe you can learn a thing or two. So really just kind of going to go over this and really know way about it, just kind of my thoughts, right? Really just want to talk to you as a friend, because what I did learn probably the most I've ever learned in any past years in business. Learned a lot about myself and kind of how to go about scheduling and managing employees and looking to build upon that in 2025. So thank you. Appreciate everybody that has come on the channel and shown support. It's really been a blessing to share this journey along with you, hence the name Reseller Journey. So first, let's just start it off on a positive note and go over the successes. Our resale business has done well, just pretty much the last 4 years. We've been able to do over 6 figures in sales. But this year in particular really took a step forward, and I'll go into why that was. But our resale business did 180,000 in sales last year. That's between eBay, Poshmark, so about 180 in sales. And then this year we did 270,000 in sales. We still have a few days left in the year, so I'm thinking maybe 275 by the year's end. So that was with the addition of selling on Whatnot. Starting in July 12th was our first official day. So we were able to do more in sales on Whatnot in 5 months than on eBay and Poshmark combined in an entire year. So we started that July 12th. Our overall sales grew year over year of 66%, and our net average income grew by 41% year over year, which is an absolute blessing. And I'll tell you why this was a huge blessing, because last year in August 2023, my wife was officially diagnosed with something called CCI, which is cranial cervical instability. She suffers from chronic pain during a whiplash injury about 13, 14 years ago. And we were just figuring out what is going on, why with chiropractor appointments and all these different x-rays and CAT scans, and just figuring out. Could not find an answer. Up until last year in August, we did find that answer, got an official diagnosis that she just basically has the ligaments in her neck and her upper C1 vertebrae are just so stretched out that she has a difficult time keeping her head on her neck. So it's always kind of out of alignment, which is why she goes to an upper cervical chiropractor every week just to keep it on alignment. But she still suffers from chronic pain. So we got that diagnosis. And we set out to do Whatnot, to put everything aside on Whatnot income into savings to be able to pay for this neck procedure. She's going to need 2 of them. Each one costs $15,000. And this, in 3 days, on the 30th, we are going to be making our phone call and scheduling our first appointment, flying out to Colorado. So this is an absolute blessing. I'm always going to remember this year as the year of, uncertainty. We didn't know how we were going to pay for it. We had no idea. We were still saving $1,000, $2,000 a month, but by selling on Whatnot, once we started that, we were able to put a lot more money aside to actually pay for my wife's neck procedure. So that's going to happen now, officially making that appointment. So for people that have followed along the journey, I just want to share the good news with you. That is an absolute blessing, and just praise God that was able to happen, and praise God for ideas, because we had the idea a long time ago in January, and it took up until July to actually put that into motion, selling on Whatnot. So that's amazing. Absolute amazing praise report. So I wanted to start it off the bat with that, because that is probably the biggest significant thing that's happened for me and my family, to be able to get out of chronic pain and take a step forward in life, because health is wealth, guys. eBay's great, reselling's great, business is great, but all of it is for nothing if you do not have your health. So Yeah, wow, that's going to be an amazing 13 years of chronic pain, now going to be taking a step forward in the right direction. The procedure is called, for anyone that suffers with chronic pain in the upper cervical spine, it's called the pickle procedure, percutaneous implantation of the CCJ ligaments. I know it sounds crazy, but it's basically your ligaments are stretched out in your upper cervical spine. They need to be tightened by injecting live stem cell bone marrow from your own body into those ligaments, tightening them. Has a 70 to 80% success rate on just the first procedure. So she might need two. We're hopeful it's just one, but we're preparing for two. That's amazing. So, are you a reseller looking to make some extra money? Well, we are expanding our wholesale team where we have 31 people where we buy inventory from nationwide. They are able to at least double their money by going to places like the Goodwill bins, flea markets, thrift stores, yard sales, and we put some money in their pocket. So we have a brand list of over 300 brands. We are buying all types of brands on that list. We're able to buy thousands of pieces of inventory every week, and we want to put a little bit of money in your pocket. So if that sounds interesting, book a call down below. We'll get you onboarded, we'll get you through the training, and we'll start seeing if we could work together. Next thing would be considered a success is just learning more about marketing, learning how to do outbound marketing, what it is even, and how it relates to running a resale business. I feel like this isn't talked enough about in reselling channels. Like, a business needs marketing to function. And what are we marketing for? I think the biggest need is whatever you're selling. Like, how do you find those products? How do you look for those products in different ways that are like more unconventional? So learning outbound marketing through like Facebook ads, TikTok ads, and cold email strategy. So basically growing a wholesale team where we can buy inventory from has been a step in that direction. Also doing direct to consumer marketing, offering to buy brands that we are looking for. I'll go into that more later, but that was a huge success, being able to partner up with people to buy inventory from. That has significantly transformed our business because there's no way that I could go out and source 1,000 to 2,000 items every week by myself. And that's what we're selling on Whatnot, between 1,000 to 2,000 items a week. So, so that goes off of that. We built a nationwide sourcing team of over 30 people that we do reoccurring transactions with. That is unreal. Also, another good idea. Had the idea back in probably late July, when I'm just like, mention it on the YouTube channel, mention it on Instagram, see what happens. And we were able to hire over 30 people to now do reoccurring transactions with. This is like on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, and just also sometimes people want to sell their eBay store or be done with reselling. We will also do buyouts through that way. So that was a huge huge win. My plans for that is to expand the sourcing team to over 100 people by next year. I'll talk about how I plan on doing that, but if you have a way to do outbound marketing and you're looking for other ways to source inventory that's other than just going to the Goodwill outlet or going to thrift stores, you're going to need to learn how to do outbound marketing, whether it's through making free content or paying for ads. So yeah, that was amazing. A shout out to everyone that we've done business with. Absolute blessing. It has been such a joy to work with people throughout the nation with like-minded values, standards, morals. So it's been amazing. That has been a beautiful thing. And I thought I had no idea what was going to come from it, but it was really cool. So that's really awesome. And then also shout out 1 million views on YouTube this year. In 2024, and that has just been beautiful. Really trying to just document more of the journey. So I'm really happy. 1 million views. That is such an honor, such a blessing. I never thought anything would come of it, but apparently people love watching someone's journey. So that's amazing. And I'm also learning a lot about myself doing these type of videos. So we gained 6.3 thousand subscribers in 2024. Another huge blessing. I think we started off this year with about 7,000 subscribers, and that took about a year and a half to get to. So really cool there to see that. Now I want to get into some of the stuff. Still, we're still in the successes, but I want to get into some of the stuff that I'm really more passionate about and looking forward to in 2025, and that is AI. Learning how to use AI automations, integrating AI with my workflow, and then learning how to apply AI to my own business so I can not only grow social media, but also learn to make correct marketing copy and ads for the people that I'm trying to hire on the team, and also direct to consumer campaigns so I can get people to basically sell me their inventory or sell me whatever's in their closet. Similar to like what ThreadUp and The Real Real is doing, multi-million-dollar businesses, and basically taking that idea and running with it just in a different way, and also integrating AI in that workflow. So we'll touch on that more later, but that is another success that I learned about this year, 2 years ago, but really applying it this year. Also hiring a VA, that has been a game changer, whether it was to do my listings, or now I have a VA sending cold direct messages, and then as well as hiring a VA to do onboarding calls for our wholesale business. So, I have usually between 3 and 5 wholesale calls every day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes I have 10, sometimes I have 1, sometimes I have 3. And sometimes people don't show up, which is fine. It's just part of the business. But I want to hire now, starting January 1st, an onboarding specialist where they are trained up in the process of onboarding the person and bringing them into our team, and then teaching them how to go about the process. We have a full course in our free community that goes over the wholesale program. So if you want to sell us inventory, that's how we do it. So, and then also building systems to scale. I'll talk about a little bit more what my plans are for the business next year, but building those systems for scale and what that looks like. So I'm learning about how to scale properly, how to go from 6 figures to 7 figures in this business, and also figuring out maybe some other products either built around reselling or just completely different. Maybe a software as a service, a SaaS business with the integration of AI could be a cool thing to look into next year. And then another win was we started a free reselling group about 5 months ago called Profit First. It's built on the platform School, which is Alex Hormozy's platform for learning and development and education. And we grew that to 1,000 members. So thank you for everyone being there. We have big plans as far as I want to do like a once a week Q&A for people that come in, just to ask me questions about reselling in general, how they can get their feet on the ground, build a good foundation. So we're looking to add more and more things as my schedule comes more clear for next year. Okay, so I want to get into probably the more important part of this entire segment, which is the failures. We learn the most about our failures than we do our successes. The successes are great, and I really think I learned the most about me failing and then what I did during that process on why I failed, so I could go back and not make that mistake again. So some of these are going to be more personal. Some of these are going to be more business related. Failures, not taking action on ideas soon enough. So, and we are just human, but procrastinating was a big thing for me in 2024. And I just encourage you, if you have an idea, to take action on it, because you have no idea what is on the other side of that idea. Ideas are the most powerful thing in the world. So not taking action on the ideas. So I had that procrastination habit of just not putting it into action. And that is a really good form of power too, is like when you have an idea and you can stop what you're doing and make that idea come into reality and manifest that idea. That is powerful, because we are distracted every day by stuff pulling us here, pulling us there, the phone distractions. So actually taking time to do deep work which is a great book, and actually like turn off everything and focus on that idea until it's completed is a great way to show discipline, but also put that into action. So that was a huge failure on my part, and I could specifically talk about Whatnot was a huge thing. Like, we knew people were crushing it, and we knew we wanted to do it, but we just didn't know how, so that's why we didn't do it. We're like, we don't know how, I'm not going to do it. But I learned that you know how by taking action and doing it, and then you figure out how. So I'm a very much learning by doing type of person. Like, there's no exact book out there on how to do live selling. So that was cool to just see, like, we learned how by doing, and we refined all the processes to make it happen, which was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. Another failure, I think this comes from just doing a little bit of real estate in last year. Just like, I knew about marketing and marketing products and marketing services, but I did not apply it to my reselling business soon enough. I really didn't start to apply it until maybe July of this year. But I knew all about it, and just figuring out how to apply it to my resale business was a learning lesson that took time to figure out. So, like, if you have something that you know about, how can you apply it to reselling in your business to help it grow and take that next step forward? Another failure on mine is more of a personal thing, but for the last 6 years, I've read on average between 10 and 12 books per year. And I only read 4 this year. So there is also a big thing for me that I want to be able to apply what I'm reading, because you could read all the books in the world, and if you don't apply what you're learning, then it's really a waste of time. So I was really trying to focus on taking what I've learned and read and then applying it to my life. So some of the books that I read this year, which have been amazing, all been amazing, and it took me so long to read this book, but Think and Grow Rich. This is the book to help break your limiting beliefs. Napoleon Hill, this is like the number one business book in the world. So Think and Grow Rich, amazing book. It's not a super long read. So I read this from, let's see, I always write my dates in the book. So 222 to 414. That was an amazing book. If you have problems with mindset and, limiting beliefs and I can't do it and I just have that negative mindset, read this book, because it's going to help you change your thought process. Your life follows your thoughts. So that was a great book to really get me on track and focus on what's important. Another amazing book that I have read this year was the author of 7 Effective Habits, Stephen Covey. He wrote another book called Trust and Inspire, which is more about leadership and how there's 2 different types of leadership: command and control leadership, where you're shouting from the rooftops on getting people to do what you're telling them to do. And then there's more inspirational leadership, which is more intrinsic, internal leadership, where you actually work with people together to accomplish a goal. So one's more inspirational, one is more commanding. Learning a lot in that book. It took me actually like 4 months to read that book as we were, developing a lot of different business ideas for Whatnot and stuff. So this book was amazing. This is underrated, but Jim Quick writes some amazing books. This is his latest book called Limitless. It not only goes over your mindset and your belief system, but it goes over a lot of healthy habits that you can apply in your life. Upgrade your brain, learn anything faster, and unlock your exceptional life. This is a thick one. It's a great book. Highly recommend it. Jim Quick is a great author. He suffered from a pretty significant brain injury when he was younger and was told he will never learn anything, that he will just be nothing, useless. But he learned to rewire his brain, reprogram his brain to be able to learn effectively. Yes, you need to learn how to learn. That's the whole theme of the book. Learning how to learn is a real thing. Learning how to read effectively is a real thing. It's funny, they don't teach that in school ever. So learning how to learn is a thing. I think that I was able to now learn and process information better by reading that book. And now this is my next book, almost done with it. I'm trying to finish it by the end of the year, but it's Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, Mastering the Art of Business Strategy. It's just learning how to be like steps ahead in the real world of business. Rather than focusing on the daily tasks, look, vision casting, how can you solve problems that are existing today and be steps ahead. So learning that. The book starts off with learning who you are and what you want is the first step to business strategy. Is you got to learn a lot about who you are and what you want out of life before you even start to develop, a business and a plan. So, that's a beautiful thing. I love that book so far. Hope to complete that. But yeah, I'm an avid reader. It's changed my life. For the first 25 years of my life, I didn't read hardly anything. But once I started to have a family and develop, this business, I needed to read because, you got to learn. You only know what you don't know what you don't know, right? So I recommend anyone just start reading personal development. We have books on leadership, and then we complain about being a terrible leader and we don't read it. So we complain about not having enough money, and there's books literally teaching you how to make money, how to manage your money, and we don't read them. So I encourage people to just make that a goal, a New Year's resolution or whatever, that you will read one book a year. Start with one book a year if you don't read one book a month or whatever that looks like for you. So that I would say would be a failure on my end. And then I would say another failure is actually not enjoying the ride enough. Focusing too much on the future, which is kind of contradictory what I just said, but really just being in the moment more, with the family and with the Whatnot shows and doing YouTube videos like this, sipping on my coffee and not thinking about the next thing that needs to get done. So just really taking time to just enjoy time, because time is the most valuable thing on the planet. And if we're so busy working and focusing on, living in tomorrow and we're not present today, what is the point of life? So really just enjoying time. And I really want to make that a huge focus for me next year, is just enjoying the ride and the journey and not so much focusing on next month or next year. Even though that should be a point of emphasis, I just want to be able to enjoy, the fruits of your labor, right? Like on Christmas, we just stayed home and we enjoyed the home, and we actually didn't think about the business and didn't think about, money coming in, money going out. And it was great. So I love that. And it's helping me just be more present and just enjoy it. So I really highly recommend that. Another, let's see. Yeah, so that I would say that was a failure. I was going to say something about success, but I just lost it. So there's more to cover, guys, and I appreciate you being here, listening to the podcast. We'll go into more future plans on YouTube here in just a minute. Here's things that I've learned. I think everyone should figure out what was the big things you've learned over the year. So one thing was to identify the seasons and to know what season I'm in. When you're building any business, you need to learn what season you're in. There's a season of sowing and reaping. There's a season of sacrifice. So I think that I just got much better at learning what season we're in, and it gave me much less stress when running this business. I know that, it's only temporary. We're shipping all the packages right now. We're doing everything in the business to be able to maximize the cash flow coming in. So I know that, hey, in 3 months, 6 months, we're going to hire a shipper. We're going to hire someone to process inventory. So I know this is only just a season of incredibly hard work, but the next season that we head into, we're going to have some more help. So I can then focus on other income producing activities within the business. So what I've learned is that to identify the seasons much better, be more discerning when it comes to, this is the season I'm in, and what does the next season look like? Well, Let's focus on this one and getting through that one. So maybe you're in a season of sacrifice right now where things are very difficult. It's only for a season, and just recognize that. There's seasons to life in all things, right? So that was a good thing that I learned. Wait a minute, are you tracking your numbers? If you're not tracking your numbers, how do you know you're actually profitable in your business? Too many times I see a lot of beginner resellers not tracking their numbers, and they think they're profitable on items that they sell, but in actuality, they are losing thousands of dollars, which is why I'm offering, link down below, a free reseller spreadsheet to help you start to build a good foundation for your resale business. I'll go over it real quick. You can download it below. Really simple to use, but it's going to help you go further faster in your resale business. A thing that often is said in business is what can be tracked can be measured, and what can be measured can be improved upon, which is why this spreadsheet is going to help you, especially if you're just starting out. Follow the instructions. You have an inventory SKU spreadsheet. You got month by month, line by line accounting, and at the end of the day, you could track your year-to-date sales. I did this because I just see so many people thinking that they're profitable in their business when they're actually not. So now back to the episode. And then also this thing too was just pushing myself. I realized that I learned that I'm much more capable than I thought I was at doing the difficult things. Waking up early, getting started, taking notes, responding to emails, paying wholesalers, reviewing spreadsheets, communicating with the VA on Slack, doing all these things. I never thought, it just sounded overwhelming 2 years ago that I'm like, yeah, how am I going to do that? Now scheduling that time to put these things into place, I learned that, hey, I am able to do this. So maybe you're in a similar position where it's like, man, this is really difficult. This is very hard. I know, and I can say confidently to you that you can do this. You are capable than you think you are, and a lot of times it's a limiting belief. Going back to that book, Think and Grow Rich, and then also Limitless, it helped break me of those limiting beliefs of just thinking that I couldn't do it or I wasn't capable of doing it. So breaking that mindset really helped me and pushing myself. There is also a fine line though too, like you don't want to push yourself so much that you burn out. You do need to pace yourself. You hear all the time, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So treat it like that. I believe very much in rest and taking days off to not only help your mental well-being, but your physical well-being as well, getting good sleep and such. So, but that's one thing I learned about myself is I've been able to push myself more than I ever have. And my relationships are better. My relationship with myself is better. Relationship with money is better. Finances are better. My family is better. We're just all just working together, unified in the vision. So it's amazing. And then learning what I'm weak in and what I'm strong in and delegating out those weak points. So I feel like I am more weak in multitasking, which can be like a good thing, but I'm doing so many different things now, managing money coming in, money going out, the onboarding calls, the pricing up the spreadsheets, responding to questions, bringing on people into the sourcing team. So I am now starting to delegate those tasks out and looking to hire an operator who can run within the business and handle all these tasks, paying invoices and scheduling onboarding calls and answering questions. So I could focus on other income producing activities. So learning what you're strong in, learning what you're weak in is huge. You need to figure that out so you can put yourself in the correct position to succeed. So that's something that I learned big time about myself. So now as far like for plans for business in 2025, and this is just going to encompass everything, social media, reselling, and maybe some new business ideas for next year. Y'all, I'm so hyped on AI. It's not even, I don't even mention it very much in my videos because mainly I try to keep it resell based, but I am so fired up about AI. So much money is coming into AI, and now is the time to take your idea that you have and apply it. It is absolutely crazy the amount of ideas that are coming into this business world that have integrated AI. So really cool, really cool. Off the top of my head, like there is a 17-year-old that developed a diet app, huge business, integrated AI to that dieting app, and now it makes over 7 figures a month. He's 17, and it took 1 month to develop this app. So that is what I'm fired up about is just like ideas that have been out there, like a dieting app. There's a journaling app, very boring niche, journaling. They integrated AI with journaling. It's a 6-figure per month business. So the time is now. The future is now, right? But that's what I'm fired up about is just ideas. Like I love ideas. Not that I'm going to be, out there, working on 50 different ideas at one time, but I'm just fired up with, the opportunity that we have right now as entrepreneurs, which is really who I'm really trying to speak to. Not only you as a reseller, but just I knew you're an entrepreneur if you were a reseller. There's more out there. If reselling isn't working for you, the entrepreneurship is alive and well and huge right now. The opportunity is huge. So yes, plans for business. As far as Whatnot, we are going to be starting on January 1st, 3 Whatnot shows per day, 6 days per week, ran by me. This is 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Some of those shows would be through people who we have on consignment. Some of those would be pallets that we have coming in for new tag items, and then some of those items will be items that come from our sourcing team. So right now we're just doing 2 shows per day, Monday through Saturday, but now we'll be integrating that middle slot of 2 p.m. A show every day, Monday through Saturday, with Sunday being the day off. So another thing that I'm excited for and just super fired up is buying pallets of new tag inventory. We've connected with a few liquidators and other vendors since we've started marketing for it and advertising for it. People have reached out, whether it's in Whatnot DMs or Instagram or whatever. Like we just bought 230 items of Lululemon. It's like that wouldn't have happened if I didn't make known that I'm looking to buy inventory. So that's been cool. But yeah, buying pallets of new tag inventory to help scale this thing up. So like we have a pallet of brand new band tees coming in. So that's going to be great. That's all going to be ran on Whatnot. So yeah, starting to get more into new tag pallets, but possibly pallets of shoes in the future. I think a truckload of brand new in-box shoes, Nikes, Sauconys, Hokas, and On Clouds was $80,000. So we hope to get there probably by this time next year to be able to now, have a truckload come in. Though figuring out how they're going to deliver it will be a whole different thing. Because there's going to be an 18-wheeler coming in, right? Okay, so that's 2 things that is planned for the business. Little bear. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this I kind of already touched on, but hiring an operator, someone that works within the business that can delegate tasks, that can multitask like a pro, not me. And an onboarding specialist for the wholesale team. This is going to be another person that we train to just connect with my Calendly and can see what onboarding calls we have for the day, and then onboard those people, get them to take the course, and then have us start doing business together. So having a person to do that. You can hire someone from the Philippines, train them up on your SOPs, and pay them $4 an hour. And that's what we've been doing, is usually $4 to $6 an hour, which is actually a really high wage for someone in the Philippines. So that's a great way to kind of outsource that. And then the next thing we would hope to get, this is probably by the time Rochelle has her first procedure done for her neck, would be look to hire someone local here that can be a shipper and processor. So we don't have to do the shipping and the processing of the inventory when that comes in. So we ship out between 200 to 300 items per day. And that's probably going to be more closer to like 300 to 400 per day once we start doing 3 shows per day. So hiring a shipper would be $20 an hour. Um, and then, so $20 an hour to process as well. That's kind of like the minimum wage here in Oregon. And processing too. So when pallets come in, they would break them open and then put them on the rack and get them ready for the shows. So that's kind of what our plan is for that. Is really going to help us huge, and I'm so excited to do that. Probably starting Q2 or Q3 of next year. Another thing, plans for business, without going into it too much, is a SaaS business, a software as a service product with the integration of AI, direct to consumer clothing business model. So, really just seeing the biggest businesses in the world that do direct to consumer marketing when it comes to clothing, and looking to build a business off of that. So something similar to like, a consignment, or we just buy out their inventory, but this is direct to consumer where we're basically like targeting people that have, either a certain income of like 6 figures or more, or it's residential homes of $1 million or more. And we would be doing cold email outreach. Little bear. Okay. This is going to be raw, guys. It's going to be raw, unedited. So yeah, direct to consumer clothing, cold email outreach. That's going to be the best way to go about that. I'm excited for that. And then to make that dream become a reality, and that vision come into reality, I'm a big believer in paying for coaching. Hiring people that are already doing it, making 6, 7, 8 figures either per month or per year, and helping that idea come to pass. I believe very much in paying for coaching because it's costing me $10 million a year not knowing how to make $10 million a year. So your best investment you can make to become more valuable is to pay down ignorance debt. And Alex Hormozy talks about all the time is like, you don't know what you don't know, and that's killing you. That's killing you. If you don't like your 9 to 5, if you don't like the amount of money you're making, instead of investing into someone else's business with your time, start to take your money and invest it in yourself so you can bring more value to the marketplace. So being able to pay for coaching, learning more about the intricate details of a SaaS product, building that product, marketing that product, and then putting that into place in 2025 to eventually, almost like crowdsource our sourcing, like basically ThreadUp did, I think, $300 million, $400 million this year in a similar model where they're marketing direct to consumer and they do a consignment program. So definitely it is a proven model to get product, and hopefully look to scale that up by this time next year. So paying for coaching, paying people for whatever you're trying to achieve. It can be how to be a better father, how to be a better leader, how to manage your money better. I just recommend investing into someone that does that already so you can learn from them, or read a book. So whatever you want to do. But investing into you is the best investment you can make. 100%. I don't care about crypto. I don't even have crypto or stocks or any of that because I'm taking all my money and investing it into books and in coaching, and counseling, so I can learn faster and better and more efficiently. So, yeah, I love that idea, and it's not for everyone, but I recommend that if you're going through a hard time right now and you're struggling financially or whatever it may be, maybe look into paying for someone that's already dominating in that field and get coaching. So do over 2 million in sales next year is, I know, a big goal for us, and then netting 50% of that. So that's a big lofty goal, but I love setting that goal because it's going to help us push ourselves to the max. And I do think that it is absolutely achievable. Now we start to bring in new product into the marketplace. So, and then also marketing, doing marketing for Whatnot. I can't even find a single YouTube video or anything anywhere talking about how to market your business on Whatnot. So there's so many strategies, paying for Facebook ads, paying for TikTok ads, downloading lists. You can download a Nordstrom list, an email list, a Macy's list, a Nike list, market to that list through cold email. Say you're running Lululemon for $1, you download a Lululemon email list. Come on now. Yeah, so you can do that. So marketing our Whatnot show to be able to achieve that growth is going to be huge. So now plans for the YouTube channel, definitely more podcasts. I enjoy it the most. I think you all enjoy it the most. Though the day in the life stuff is great and tips and tricks, that's all great. But I feel like there's tips and tricks from other channels out there. Learn from them that are absolutely dominating. I think like learning about people's story and journey is very valuable to you and me. So more podcasts, learning from more entrepreneurs. These are even going to be from people that are not directly in the resale niche, but they're running a business by themselves. They're doing 7-8 figures a year. What is it that they're doing that we can apply to our resale business? So a lot of businesses principles transfer over into this very thing that we're in right now, which is reselling. So more podcasts. Let me know if you guys want more podcasts. So, reaching out to people who do live selling. Other people have different businesses as well, and just asking them their journey and maybe some failures they've made along the way and how can we learn from those. Focusing more on entrepreneurship and business building will be the theme of the channel. It will still be reselling. It's just going to be more entrepreneurship, more business building. So bringing more testimonies through understanding the journey and the story behind where people were from and now where people are at to help you bring more value so you could build your own business. And then also showing more behind the scenes of my life and workflows, which is this very much thing. This podcast right here, I wanted to just have an open chat, open talk, to you as a friend. You're my friend, so I want to talk to you, and that's what I want. More behind the scenes, life updates, how I'm running the business, what the workflow looks like, how are we managing to homeschool 4 kids that are all under the age of 8. While running this business. I think that does bring value because most people that I've spoken to do this business with their family or have their family somewhat involved. So I think showing that will help people that they can do it too. It's not impossible. Another plan for YouTube channel next year is just doing shorts daily, maybe some more informational shorts where it has some bits of information that you can apply to your business now. And then also integrating AI with that would be cool, like an automation. So AI automation for social media, because social media does take time, but if you are able to integrate AI and train it on your content and then be able to make posts, I think that's going to be a great buy back your time principle. So those are my ideas. Those are my plans for the next upcoming year. I think everyone should open a Google document and do the same thing that I just did. Type in success, failures, what I've learned, plans for your business in 2025. Make some bullet points, and you're going to get much more clarity going into the next year. Everyone should do that. Will everyone do that? No, probably only 0.5% of the people watching this will actually write down on a Google document or a piece of paper, what is something that you were successful in this year? What is something that you failed in this year? What did you learn about yourself this year? Taking that, writing it down is going to bring you much more clarity. This is something I was really bad at a year ago, 2 years ago, is writing stuff down. I'm really trying to make that one of the first things that I do when I wake up, writing down some, not just like a to-do list, but writing down some ideas and figuring out maybe YouTube video ideas or, just different strategies. I think it's going to be bringing you so much clarity in a very annoying world. I mean, come on now, your phone's going off, you're getting emails, crazy stuff in the household. So it's like getting clear and getting it written down on a document is greatly going to help you be more clear heading into the next year. So I look forward to doing so many more podcasts on this YouTube channel with some reselling content behind it. I hope you guys have a blessed new year. I hope you all had a blessed holiday season. Thank you so much for your support, encouragement. I really appreciate you all coming in and just giving your 2 cents. I read all the comments, so give me your thoughts. Give me some of your goals. Comment down below. What are some things that you're trying to accomplish in the next year? And just remember, you're more capable than you think you are. So set those goals high. Appreciate you all. We'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.